So I should be live now. Can you guys hear me? I can see you in the chat. Hang on, I'll put this right here. Oh, it's asking me to sign in. Come on. Oh yes, I can see everyone. Hey, thanks man. Thanks Dan. I'm just waiting for more people to join. But yeah, this is the very first time I'm live streaming. I'm kind of nervous, but you know, uh, I'm so excited for this. I'm nervous at the same time. Let's see how it goes. So I have the chat right open here. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'll be pretty active on the chat. In the meantime, I'll get something set up. Let's see. Yeah, my hey Fahim, what's up? Nice to see you here. Yeah, my voice is deeper than Hulk. I know. Yeah, that's so cool. But yeah, it's a pleasure seeing all of you here. So I mean, I'll just test the audio a little bit, and then we'll get started. I'll be pretty active on the chat. Yep, I think that sounds good. So I think this is my first ever stream, and this is something different than what I typically do. So on Twitter, I talk about machine learning and things like that. But today, I want to dive deeper into Svelte, and I absolutely suck at JavaScript. So this is going to be a good time to embarrass myself in front of all of you about how bad I am at JavaScript. So we're going to let's get through this together. Yeah, I really want to make a to-do app in this entire in this entire live stream. So we'll just keep it going until we can go, and I'll try to explain what I'm thinking, and you guys can help me out for sure, because I'm sure there are so many people that are so much better than me at JavaScript. So yeah, I'll be taking help from you, so be pretty active there. So I think the first place where I want to start is on the tutorial, the Svelte tutorial, and I'll also have the docs open. So we'll just speed run through this sort of. Let's see. So this is like a basic HTML thing. So so for those of you who don't know, so Svelte is basically like this front end framework, kind of like React and Vue, especially But what's the cool thing about Svelte is that it compiles down to native JavaScript. Instead of compiling down to something else like a virtual DOM, which React or Vue use. So it's a very performant, and it's a very clean framework. And apart from that, I think the way the code is written, I personally find it really pleasing to look. And I also really like the syntax of it. As I said before, it's similar to Vue, and we'll see more about it soon. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Is there a library equivalent of p5.js in Python? I'm not sure what p5.js is. I'm assuming it's a 3D library. I'm actually not sure. if you are on Twitter, just DM me and I'll see what that's about. But for now, let's get on with Svelte. So this is a normal HTML page, nothing fancy here. Let's go to the next one. And so each so the way you develop Svelte apps is you sort of have them in components, and each component is in its own file, a .svelte file. And so we have the app.svelte. This is sort of like the main file where everything is going to be. Let's see. So a component that just renders some static markup isn't very interesting. Let's add some data. Okay, cool. Add a script tag. Okay. So you can basically write JavaScript inside of Svelte. So let's try to do that. I'll just clear this out for now. Hang on, let me just come a little bit forward. So I think we will make a script tag. So this is, if you've used Vue, this will feel very similar to that. Let's add an indentation. I'm just so what you're doing here is you're using declaring the JavaScript and things like that. So we're declaring the variable over here using the let keyword. That's how it works in JavaScript. And then in the HTML, we can simply just print it out. So we can do hello. And I really like the syntax of using curly braces here. That I really dig that. And yeah, it looks very clean. It looks very logical. Like you have the logic above, and then you have the structure of the code below. I personally found that really awesome. I'm going to convert from Python to JavaScript. That's not going to happen. But yeah, so that's that seems cool. Let's see. Now, just like you can use curly braces to control text, you can also use them to control element attributes. Okay. So you can basically, use the sort of like how we use the variable inside of, the HTML tag. You can actually use that to also as an in what is this called? So you can also put them in attributes. So you can use the variables there as well, which is pretty cool. And yeah, we have a rickroll. I love these docs. And then we can also add an alt tag. Rickroll. That's cool. And shorthand attributes. Okay. Oh, that's cool. So instead of, writing src equals to brackets src, you can just write src. That's pretty neat. Not going to lie. And if we actually look at the JavaScript output, it's pure vanilla JavaScript. That's seriously awesome. So you can also look at it here. This tutorial is pretty amazing. Let's see. So now we have that. Let's move on to the next exercise. So just like in HTML, you can add a style tag to your component. Let's add some styles to your P element. Okay. So yeah, this if you have written Vue, this will feel very familiar. Like you have the HTML, the CSS, and JavaScript. In 3 chunks. You have the script, you have the like the HTML tags, and then you have the style, which is the CSS. So I think that sounds pretty good. Let's try to. So as they tell you to, let's add some styles to this. Let's add color. I don't like purple. I'll do blue. We'll do font family. Let's not do Comic Sans. Let's do Arial. And font size. Like that, but sorry, there was some audio issue. Yeah, so now we can look at the font size. Let's do the font size. So it tells me to do it at 2 EM. Let's do that. relative units. That's pretty cool. I think, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that looks really good. Let's see. Let's go here. It would be impractical to put the entire application in one component. Instead, we can import components from other files and include them through. Okay, that's pretty neat. So you can, so I mean, in order to keep things organized, you do not want to put everything in one file like you do in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, like the vanilla variants, or like you just put it in one file, like you don't really separate it. And but in frameworks like React View or Svelte for that matter, you can put them into components, which makes it easier to work with. And I really love that. So let's see how this works. Now this is a part where I'm going to start messing up because I'm bad at JavaScript. Add a script tag that imports nested.svelte. Okay, let's go here and let's add a script tag. Let's see. I mean, typically I think by convention you're supposed to have the script tag at the top, but so I'll just put it there because it looks neat. And they tell you to import nested from nested.svelte. Let's try to do that. Let's see. Okay, and then add it to the markup. So you imported this component, and then you can just directly copy paste this component like an HTML tag. This feels familiar to JavaScript. Yeah, that works. That's also pretty cool. Nice. I'm liking Svelte so far. Let's see. Ordinary strings are inserted as plain text, meaning characters have no special meaning. But sometimes you need to render the HTML directly into a component. For example, words you're reading right now exist in the markdown file that gets included on this page as a blob of HTML. In Svelte, you do this using this special @HTML. Okay. Oh, okay. So I see. So sometimes when you have HTML inside of variables and you want the HTML to render and not as plain text, like you can see here, it's strong. You don't want these tags. You want this to be bold. You use something called @HTML. Oh, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let's see. Let's go. What now? This tutorial is familiar with the process of writing components, but at some time you'll in your own text editor. Of course, we'll be using VS Code at some point. And you can use Vite, Rollup, Webpack. So these are bundlers that you can use to bundle your code after you've written it for Svelte. So it compiles it down to vanilla JavaScript and things like that. So let's see what they tell you to do here. Okay, so they tell you to install the Svelte extension. Once you've got the project set up, using Svelte components is easy. Props later. Yeah. So props are pretty difficult. I'm not particularly great at that. That's something I'll have to learn right now as we speak. And let's see. Okay. I need some time to absorb this. Let's see. From app, import app.svelte, const app, new app, target body. Okay. Then you interact using the component API if you want to. Okay. Yep. This is going to be a bit. It's going to take a bit of getting used to, because I mean all I do is Python, and this just kind of goes over my head a little bit. The way you import things, the way you actually work with them, it's something I have to figure out. We'll do it together. No worries. Let's see. What do they tell you now? Okay. Oh, so this is the reactivity part of Svelte. Hey everyone, glad to see you here. We're having more people on the stream now. Um, okay. So we have like the logic here, script tags. We have a variable that's count. Okay. There's a function that increments a count. I mean, right now if we click it, nothing really happens. So we have to add code over here to that adds reactivity to it. So we can do count is equal to count plus one. I really like, how Svelte is so intuitive to use. Like, it's not that far away from vanilla JavaScript. Hang on, did I do something wrong? Yeah. But, okay, we have to use the binding. That also, honestly, this feels very familiar to Vue. Like, I've used Vue a little bit. And this, So, increment count. Yes, there we go. That's awesome. Uh, hi Digvijay, what's up? Glad to see you here. Yeah, I don't have the super chat right now because it's not monetized yet, but eventually we'll get there, man. We'll do it. um, but yeah, here you can see by using the on click. So basically, when you click on the button, what sort of function takes place. That's pretty neat. Um, it tells you the count. If the count is, oh yeah, we have the triple equals here. Yeah, that's let's see. And if the count is one, how do you read this? So it tells you the count. Mm-mm. Okay, if the count is one, it will basically say time. Otherwise, if there are multiple, if the buttons click multiple times, it changes to times because plural and singular. That's pretty cool. JavaScript, yeah. Um, that's JavaScript for you. I like the syntax again. I keep saying this again and again, but I really like the syntax as well. Okay. Svelte automatically updates the DOM. Okay. Reactive declarations look like this. Okay. Don't worry if this looks a little bit alien. It's valid, even if unconventional. Okay. Hmm. Let's let's do this. I'm loving the chat, by the way. Keep it coming. You know. That's awesome. So we let the count to be 0 and let's see. Doubled. Handle click is not defined. Okay, yeah, we removed the thing there. I don't think we. Let's see. I messed something up probably. Okay. Let's do this. Hmm. Kevin is here. Yeah, he's going to love this. We're finally doing Svelte. Hang on, let me digest this. So okay, they look like this. So let the count to be 0. What's this supposed to be? It's a bit. I'm not really getting this. If we let's say if we just do this, what are you supposed to do here? Doubled is not defined. Count is not defined. Okay. I mean that works. Okay, maybe it doesn't. I'm so confused. I told you I was bad at JavaScript. uh, okay, so Kevin is helping me right here. I'm kind of using a voice filter, yes, because my mic is really, it has a really flat, what do you say, audio curve to it. So I need, a bit of need to increase it a little bit. So dollar is a way to declare a reactive variable. Okay, okay, that makes sense. Mm-mm. Kevin, you gotta help me. Use dollar before the braces. Okay, which braces? Huh. Yeah, this is really going above my head. Oh man, this is so embarrassing. Mm-mm. What's this supposed to be? What's a hmm? Okay, before count. Let's see. Mm-mm. Yeah, I'm very stupid. I'm doing something wrong, probably. Let's see. So, I think. Hang on. Or you can show it to me. Yeah, that's better. Gotta be good at JavaScript. Okay, so it's supposed to be like this. Okay, I get it. So you have the count variable declared here, and this is like a reactive variable. Instead of using let, you use this. Now I get it. And you have the function there. You can click on it. Okay, yeah, finally I got it. The chat is getting mad at me. Let's see. Mm. So quick recap. So I was having some trouble knowing what this dollar and colon is supposed to do, and what I got to know is it's a reactive variable. So you can see it in the chat. Uh, Yeah, that totally makes sense. So let is it's like a stationary variable or something that I can't remember. So you have let, var, and const in JavaScript. So this is just another way of declaring a variable, and this is basically it. It's twice the count. Um, yeah, and you can do it down there. Okay, fine. I got it. I got it. Let's go. You're not limited to. We can also run arbitrary statements reactively. For example, we can log the value of count whenever it changes. Okay. Okay, so whenever the value of count changes, we basically get a console.log. Okay. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's try to do this. Hmm. Hang on. Where is this supposed to go? Is this supposed to go into the function or what? I think no. Again, it's going to be. So from what I'm reading in the chat, let is used for closed scope declaration of variables. Okay, so it's not like a global variable. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, the count is okay. It's supposed to give us some. Okay, actually, I see it. The count is 0. Okay, that's kind of neat. I'm reading it in the chat. So reactive statements automatically change for check for any changes. Same way with reactive variables. Okay, that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. So this is a reactive statement. So whenever it's changes, detects a change in count, it basically console logs the thing. Wow, that's pretty cool. And you can also put more stuff into it, like let's do console.log. You know what? Next time I gotta have Kevin on the call with me so we can live stream it together. That so that he can actually help me. That would be so cool. Let's do hello world, and let's also do an alert. Okay, it already detected a change. Oh wow, yeah, it's not going to let me type that. But yeah, I think you get the point. So whenever there's a change in the DOM, by DOM I mean the document object model, or basically a change in the JavaScript, it's going to trigger this, and then we're going to have we're going to, so in this case we'll get a console log, as you can see, hello world, and we'll also get an alert, as you can see here. That's pretty cool. And you can also, if you want them to trigger at certain on when something happens, like they say here, if the count is greater than or equal to 10, then only the alert and whatever things you want to happen here, those will happen. So we can just copy paste this. Let's see, it's not indented, but oops, yeah. So you can click it, and as soon as it goes to 10, it will go to 9. Count is dangerously high. Yeah, that works. Actually, you know what, Kevin and Mike, do you want to join in right now? Hang on. So I've just messaged it to you. So if you guys want to join, just let me know. You could probably join right now. But yeah, this is pretty neat. This is pretty neat. Arrays and objects. Okay. This is something I should know. Okay, so these are basically functions that you can do on arrays. But it's in a more JavaScript way, of course, because it's JavaScript. I'm used to some of the Pythonic ways of doing things, so this is going to take a while to get used to. But let's see. We have a function, and we're using the dot push numbers dot length plus 1. Numbers is equal to numbers. Okay. Okay, so there's a more idiomatic solution. Yeah, I really don't know. I really don't know much about this. Let's see. We have a function add number, and then we push numbers.length.1. Okay. And numbers is equal to numbers. Let's see what that does. Pythonic is a new word added to the dictionary. Okay, this is pretty cool. So we're basically adding adding a number to this array every time, and we're letting it equal to. So basically, this array is getting bigger and bigger. That's interesting. And then there's a more weird way of doing it, the more JavaScript way of doing things. Let's see. Yeah, this is I I can't remember what this was supposed to be, but yeah, it's that's something I'll have to dig more into soon. Let's see. And then yeah, this is pretty much JavaScript. So we're list slicing and things like that. I'm kind of used to this since I work with it a lot in Python, so kind of makes sense. And even better way of doing it. So okay, so it's going to the fourth element in this array and it's adding one to it. Okay. So what I'm getting from the chat is the second way is to is spread operator. It's more convenient. Yeah. It's a spread operator. I remember this. I've seen this somewhere, but I'm not. Of course, I'm bad at JavaScript, so. But this looks pretty good. Okay. Yeah, I never get this foo bar bars. It's always weird for me, but let's see. Yeah, so okay, this looks cool. Now let's see props. Okay, yeah, I've done some props in React, but I'm really not confident about this. But let's see how this goes. So far, we've dealt exclusively with the internal state. That is to say, the values are only accessible within a given component. Okay, so we basically want to use variables and things from one basically from one component, one file into another. Okay. And I'm also reading the chat right now. So the triple dots basically makes a copy of the array, and you can use it anywhere by adding one. Okay, that's pretty neat actually. That's really cool. Yeah, that makes sense. I'll have to dive more deeper into this, but it just makes a copy of the array, apparently. Okay, I'll look more into this. Hey Vaibhav, nice to see you in the on the stream. Let's see. So in the script tag, we're supposed to export the answer. Okay. If we export it, okay, that's pretty cool. Pretty interesting. So we import nested from here, and then we basically gave the nested what do you say, the element like a variable and a value, and then you can use it in the basically use it here by exporting it. So they're saying just roll with it for now, you'll understand more later. Okay. We can easily specify values for props in the nested.svelte. Okay. Script let answer. Okay. Let's see what they want us to do. Yeah. A mystery. And they want us to add another nested element. Let's see. Okay. So you can basically define, a default value for the variable, I suppose, by basically like making the variable here itself. Interesting. And you can, when you copy and paste it without the variable itself, it falls back to the default one. That's interesting. Moving on. Yeah, this is the spread operator that you were talking about in the chat. So we're back to it now. If you have an object of properties, you can spread them onto a component instead of specifying each one. Okay. Yeah, so I see what you're talking about here. So instead of having to write all of these, like basically this would typically be JSON data that you would be getting. Here you can just use the spread operator to spread it out. That's pretty convenient. Yeah, the documentation is pretty amazing. Hi Devesh, nice to see you here. Glad you're on the stream, man. And yeah, I hope the quality is great because I'm running this at 1080p 30 fps with like a really high bitrate. I mean, I played around with the settings a little bit. I hope it's all good. PKG is the same output. Cool. Thanks a lot, anonymous user, for the what do you say? Like for the help there. So it's the spread operator. Neat. Moving on. Let's see, logic. Okay, this is going to get interesting. HTML doesn't have a way of expressing logic like conditionals and loops, but Svelte does. We can wrap it in an if block. Okay. This actually reminds me of Django and Jinja a little bit. I don't know. I'm making these weird references, but this feels like a mix of Vue, Django, and yeah, just both of those. Let's see. So what there? So if the user is logged in, then you can click on the toggle button. It should basically toggle from being logged in to logged out. Let's see. Then we can end the if over here. Okay, that's pretty intuitive. On 13, there's an error. You're not supposed to have the expected 15.0. What's wrong here? What's wrong here? Is there an indentation? Or is it something else that I'm missing? I don't know, let's just... Okay. It's supposed to be curly braces, not brackets. My bad. But that works. Yeah, Svelte looks really cool. I told you, that's why I just started learning Svelte instead of React or something like that. But I'm already a huge fan of Svelte. So yeah, I mean this syntax makes a lot of sense. It's very logical. It's not something particularly it all makes sense. Like when I was learning React, there were times when I just didn't understand things, and here it actually seems that everything makes a lot of sense. And yeah, in general it's just very readable. So you can read this if statement. It's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Nice. Let's go ahead. Now, since the two conditions, if user logged in, are mutually exclusive, we can simplify this component by using a slightly else block. Let's see. We can simplify this component by using an else block. Okay. So like how we had the if block, we can just use the else block instead of, using this if again and again. It's a bit redundant. So we can use, I think, yeah, if we do that, else, let's see. Yeah, we have to remove the if over here. That makes sense and it works. Hey guys, nice to more people joining in. Yeah, I mean, so we're basically learning Svelte here, and from what I can see in the chat, there are a lot of Svelte fans over here. Everyone loves Svelte. It's just, I mean, this makes much more sense than React to me, honestly. But I mean, I'm really loving Svelte so far. Yeah, nice to see you live. Thanks, man. Glad we'll keep doing more of these, and we'll make this bigger eventually. Let's see. Okay, that makes sense. You can toggle it. Yeah, so we looked at the else thing. That looks pretty neat. Moving on. Multiple conditions can be chained together with else if. Okay. Okay, so you can have multiple, else if statements. So if x is greater than 10, then we just print x is greater than 10 here. Else if x is hang on, we actually don't. So basically what this thing is, you don't need to write this piece of code. You can just copy, just cut it and put it here, and that should, that should also work, I guess. Is that what's supposed to happen here? Hang on, I messed up. So okay. Yeah, we just got a new subscriber. Cool. Let's see. We have like an if. Okay. So we don't need this, and we also don't need this. We can, so there's a if right there. Then apart from that, else, we can just put the if over here. That makes sense. And then we can just have the else. Yeah, okay. So 7 is between 5 and 10. That's what's supposed to be printed. If x is greater than 10, it's supposed to put, yeah, so this also makes a lot of sense. We're just, trying to write less and less code as possible. Neat. I like this. Let's move on. If you need to loop over lists of data, we can use an each block. Okay. Each cat as cat. Okay. Okay, so if you have basically like, hey Michael, nice to see you here. Basically, if you have like what do you say, a list, you can just iterate over it, and yeah, we can also use the spread operator like that we saw before. So yeah, that makes sense. Close block, open each block. Okay, let's try to do that here. Each cats as cat. So we're iterating over the list and we're giving it a temporary variable of cat. Let's see. Yeah, the syntax is going to take a take some while to get used to. But here we can see we have the list of cats basically from here. Nice. And mhm. We can also get the index as the second argument. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, so we can basically put at what number these, basically these arrays are at. So this is going to be the first, second, and third. Okay. I plus 1. Okay, so we define I over here. And you can see the numbers have come up over here. Mm, that works. And we can do a cat.name, or we could actually um, cat.id. Yeah, it gives you the ID and stuff like that. But if you just want everything, you can use the spread operator. I think that's how it was. Hang on. Yeah, got it. So you can. I'm just playing around here. We could do cats. Okay, we'll see this later. But for now, the code is working, and yeah, you can basically render out the text over here. So yeah, that makes sense. Uh, hmm. Let's move on to the. Uh, okay, these things as thing.id. Hmm. Hmm. For how long have you been streaming though? Let me just check that. How do I check how long it's been going for? But I'm still getting used to all of this. uh, we've been going on for an hour. Wow. Okay. That's pretty good. And thanks for being here with me. I think there are like 3 people here, but yeah, this is just the beginning. Let's see where we can take this. Let's see what else we have here. By default, you can modify each block. Okay, it will add and remove the items at the end of the block and update the values that have changed. That might not be what you want. It's easier to show than explain. Click on the remove. Okay, so you click on remove and it removes the first thing. Okay. Mm-hmm. And it removes everything. It updates the name, but the remaining nodes, but not the emoji. Yeah, so the emoji was not getting updated. Um, yeah, yeah, there was an issue with the emoji. If I reload, if I remove, yeah, it's still showing the apple, so that's wrong. To do that, we specify unique identifier or key for the each block. Okay, here thing.id is the key, which tells Svelte to figure out which DOM node to change when the component updates. Okay. Hmm. Let's see. So the Hmm. You can use any object as the key. Svelte uses map. Okay. Hmm. So you're asking me, I would love to go for Java or C++ for DSA or Python for machine learning. Which one would I go with? Don't say depends on the interest. Okay, I'll give you the most, I guess, clear cut answer to this. If I were in your place, I think machine learning is, more cool. I mean, it's more interesting. It's like, the bleeding edge of what's happening right now, in terms of technology and stuff like that. And um, I would, I just think, machine learning is more interesting personally, and like there's more things you can do in it per se. So, but I would go for Python for ML, honestly. um, yeah, let's do. So they tell us to do thing.id over here, and oh yes, it works. Cool. Um, so basically, the emoji also gets deleted and updated with it. That's pretty neat because it's rendering each time. Um, yeah. So the ID is also getting updated, I suppose. Hey man, nice to see you on the live stream. Mm, let's see. So yeah, that you can we looked at this right here. Pretty interesting. Let me just read this one more time. So the thing ID also gets changes. From what I can tell over here, I'm not 100% sure what's going on. Okay, okay, that makes sense. Let's see. Await blocks. Okay. Most web applications have to deal with asynchronous data. Okay, so this is pretty interesting. Um, Async await is like, one of those things that everyone gets confused with, and that's what. And even I'm pretty bad at it. So let's see how this works. Mm, Svelte makes it easy to await with the value of promises directly in your markup. Okay. Yeah, I've had some experience with promises in vanilla JavaScript. So, hmm, the catch block. You can also omit the first block until. Okay. So we can generate random number. It's not object promise. Okay. It's not showing anything there. Replace this element. Okay. What do we replace it with though? Oh, okay. We can replace it with this chunk of code. Yep. So when we're waiting for the promise, it's going to fetch it from this API over here. It's using the fetch API, and it's waiting for it to come, and then when it gets it, await for the promise, and when it gets the promise, it basically gives you the number. If you get an error, you catch the error and you just print out the error. Okay, that seems pretty intuitive. If you know that your promise can't reject, you can omit the catch block. So if you know that you're going to get something from the API, there's going to be no error, you can just omit this catch block. And yeah, I believe you can just do this. So yeah, interesting. How much Python do you need to know for machine learning, like to get started? I know React and no experience with Python. So I'll be, Python is actually fairly easy to learn. Like, most people sort of, who are doing JavaScript and who want to learn machine learning and get into Python, like, just know that, you already know JavaScript. That's tougher than Python. So don't be worried about it. So, be good in object-oriented programming, less slicing, like you know how to like use APIs like requests and other things like that in some of the internal Python libraries. That comes in handy. And then that's kind of that's mostly it, like and then you'll find things like list comprehensions, list slicing again, as I said. What else could be there? Async await, maybe you'll have to use that. And then also like a web framework comes in handy, like something like Fast API or Flask. So just I think that's more than enough to get started. And you can learn as you go as well, so there's not too much to worry about. That's kind of like how I would recommend, like how to get started with Python for machine learning. In fact, I've even done like an in-depth thread on it with all the topics that you need, so you can go check that out if you're interested. In fact, if you cannot find it, just DM me and I'll let you know how to do it. So we've briefly seen how you can listen to. Okay, you can use the on directive. Okay, so on mouse move, we're going to get the X and Y coordinates of the mouse. Okay. Mouse move. Handle mouse move. Okay. I think that should work. How do we? Hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. You can see basically you're getting the X and Y coordinates of the mouse. That's neat. I think it only works like in this area of it. But yeah, you can see the numbers are changing. Nice. Um, let's just look at the code a little bit here. So you have defined the array here, and then you're updating it whenever the mouse kind of moves around. Cool. Let's see. You can also declare event handlers in line. Okay. Quotation marks are optional, but they're helpful for syntax highlighting in some environments. Okay. So apparently you're not supposed to use these inline tricks in Svelte, but looks like the what do you say, the compiler basically fixes everything for you, so you don't really need to worry about you can basically write your functions and things wherever the hell you like. Yeah. Also, if you want to get good at JavaScript, follow this course called Namaste JavaScript. Okay, yeah, that's a good recommendation. I'll note it down. I need to get good at JavaScript, but yeah, thanks for the recommendation. Let's see. So on mouse move, we do this entire giant function. Let's see what it's all about. So E, it's okay. This is an arrow function. I mean, at least it looks kind of like it. Let's see. Okay. What does that change though? So you don't need this function anymore. This function in the script tag, you can just comment this out, and it will still work. Okay, now I get it. So E is a function. E is like a function that maps to M, which is basically this array, and M is basically equal to this array. Huh. And the quotation marks are, apparently they say it's not necessary, so we can remove it. Yeah, that works too. You can also leave them. Let's leave them. It works again. Okay, so this is inline. Okay, I prefer this one because it feels more intuitive to read, but this is also a cool way of doing things. Interesting. Let's move on. Hmm. DOM event handlers have modifiers that alter the behavior. For example, with a once modifier will only run a single time. Okay. So if you want to run the code once, you can just, again, I keep seeing this again and again, but this feels very similar to Vue. So you can put this once. You can only click it once. After you click it again, it will not do anything. But if you remove once, you'll be able to click it again and again. And you have lots of modifiers here. Prevent default. Okay. Prevent default calls event.prevent default. This is JavaScript. I have to get more into this. And then we have event stop propagation. Passive, non-passive, okay. Yeah, I guess I'll get back to this as soon as we need it. For now, I'm just going to ignore it. Let's see. Components can also dispatch events. To do so, they must create an event dispatcher. Update inner.svelte. Okay. Create event dispatcher must also be called when the component. Okay. Can also dispatch events. To do so, okay. Let's see what this is all about. So from Svelte we can import okay, over here. Let's see. Hi Nirmit Agarwal. Glad to have you on the stream. Svelte. Hey man, what's up? Don't call me sir. Don't call me sir. I'm just like a friend. Const dispatch create event dispatcher. I'm just copying the code just so I don't feel like I'm cheating. Never mind. Yeah, this is kind of going above my head, but I'm going to keep copying and then I'll read it and I'll try to make sense of it. Message. Hello. Okay. And we can put semicolons if you want. If you don't, actually we cannot. Apparently. Okay. Also, you're not supposed to put that there. This is supposed to go here. Actually, good to see someone who loves math like me, and everyone is like, maths is horrible. I don't know why. Yeah, man, I can relate to that. Maths is so awesome, but I think the main issue is that most people just weren't taught, maths in a very fun and interesting way in school, including me. I had that interest for it, so I learned maths on my own through online courses and whatnot. But if you don't have a good teacher, it's hard to learn maths. So is React going on here? So no, we're learning Svelte right now, and I'm really struggling over here because I'm bad at JavaScript. But yeah, I'm just trying to get along. Maths is awesome, yeah, and you're learning React, cool. Like I tried to learn React last year, but I kind of just gave up. I went more for Python and things like that. So now I'm trying to make up for it and learn Svelte. Self-learning is the best. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Self-learning is the best. Let's see. Say hello. That works. What if we don't have this dispatcher? What does it do? Okay. It breaks the code. Do you prefer Node or Django? Actually, I prefer Fast API over all of them. Like, I don't have any experience with Node, to be honest. Um, I mean, in that case, I would prefer Django, but I love Fast API the most. Like, that's my most favorite backend framework in Python. Must be called when component is instantiated. You can't do it later. Hmm. So right now I'm doing this tutorial so everything clicks in place and makes sense. But when I get to making the app myself, it's going to be a lot more difficult. I can already feel that. But let's see. From inner input. Okay. Function handle message. Um Inner on message. Okay. This is kind of going above my head, so I'm just going to try and read and make sense out of it. We've got a question here. I have learned merge stack. That's why I was asking. So, I mean, I say this again and again. If you have learned JavaScript, learning Python is not very difficult, but it's totally up to you. How what you like? I mean, where you want to go. I think Node is awesome. Node is great. Go ahead and use Node, Node Express, Fastify, or Happy.js, whatever. Those are all great frameworks. Apart from that, on the Python side, you have Fast API, Flask, Django. Just use whatever you prefer and what you like. It really doesn't make that much of a difference. And as far as what we're working on right now, so I'm learning Svelte. I'm trying to get good at Svelte because I'm bad. I'm terrible at JavaScript, and I'm just trying to fix that. Let's see. How long is the stream again? Let me check. Mm-mm. So this stream has actually been going on for more than an hour. Nice. I didn't expect I'd be able to do it that long. But yeah, that's thank you so much for being here. All the 6 people that are in the chat is just really cool. To have you all here. We're going to let's see if we can make this YouTube thing big soon. But I'll try my best. Mm, components can also dispatch events. Okay, dispatch events. Click to say hello. It's supposed to dispatch. Okay, I get it now. So it's going to dispatch a message. I see. I see. So it's like it's an alert. I mean, you could just use an alert. I'm not sure why we're using a dispatch event. If anyone can tell me that, but nice. I suppose you could also just do an alert. Let me just try that. Comment alert. Hello. That works too. Yeah. So you can use a dispatcher or an alert. Nice. Unlike DOM events, component events don't bubble. If you want to listen to an event on some deeply nested component, the intermediate components must forward the event. Okay. We have one way we could solve the problems by adding dispatcher to the outer event and listening for message event or creating a handler for it. Okay. Have you watched Loki? No. I've been way too busy in work and other things. So for now, yeah, I'm out of touch for now. mm, from inner input Svelte, from dispatcher input Svelte. Okay. Sure. Function forward message. Forward the event. Mm. I'm just gonna copy paste this. Let's see. Supposed to do it here, 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 here. We'll do it here. You prepping for JE too, Pratham? Honestly, no. I'm actually not doing JE right now. I'm doing something else. Like I'm preparing for the SAT, and trying to get up, go to the US or maybe something like that. But I'm not preparing for JE. No, and I'm actually glad I'm not doing that because that becomes very hectic. Let's see. Okay, so we basically have to replace the code here. We have the inner tag on message forward. Let's try to read this. That'll make more sense then. From inner import, so we're importing this thing right here, and we have like this text inside of this dispatch. Function forward event dispatch image event.detail. Okay, so this is a function right here. Message. Okay, it's supposed to say hello. It does say hello. Event.detail. What's the detail? So you want to go to the US, but parents are the real issue. I can probably help you out here. If you're comfortable, you can maybe DM me. We can set up a call or something like that. Because I've done some. I guess it from my side also. It took some convincing for my parents to do. But going to the US for your BTech or your undergrad is also a great idea. If you want help, just give me a DM, and I'll try my best to help you out. We have a forward message. So on message we forward it. Okay. Okay, so basically the message gets onto the message variable, I suppose. And then from outer we import outer. Okay. Function handler. Okay. Yeah, this is kind of going above my head, but I hope I'll get more comfortable with it soon. Let's see. Okay, this kind of doesn't make sense to me. I'll have to probably ask Kevin or someone about this. I'll just copy this for now. We'll go to the next one. Event forwarding works for DOM events too. If you want to get notified for clicks, our custom button to do that. Okay. Okay. Click me. Oh, the color changed. Okay. You can click it and move away. Custom button. Okay, so we already have a component here that has style on it. It has its own CSS and things like that. Okay. And then once you click on it, you're supposed to get an alert, I suppose. What did they say about the fees? Like the colleges are high as hell. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. But there are there are still ways to there are still really good colleges that you can get into that are not that expensive. And it's possible to get a scholarship and things like that. There are need grant scholarships and things like that in US colleges. Like there's an entire thing about it, and it can be about as affordable as India if you do some research, and it's definitely possible. Let's see if we do this. We have a button. Okay. Event forwarding. We want to get notified of clicks of a custom button. To do that, we just need to forward click events onto the button. Okay. Hang on. Okay. On click. Button clicked. Okay. Got it. This is actually my real voice. It's slightly modified. It's not, really that modified. It's just made a bit louder in post, but it's actually my real voice. Is React a prerequisite for Svelte, or can you learn Svelte directly? You can learn Svelte directly, man. That's what I'm doing right now. I've done some React and I've done some Vue, so it's a bit easier. But you can totally just get started with React or Svelte, whichever you like. Let's see. So we've been going for almost 1.5 hours. It's been awesome. I'll do more of this actually. This motivates me to learn more, and it's a lot of fun. That works. That works. Um, Custom button. Okay. And as soon as it's clicked, the button will be clicked. Okay. Custom button on click. Handle the click. Okay. It gives it an alert. That makes sense. Let's move ahead. Some questions here. I wanted to know how to be ready for getting into the fields of data analytics through this, as it constitutes of SQL, Django, and much more. I mean, I guess every company has their own version of data analytics, like what they mean by data analytics. I mean, I am not that experienced to answer this, but I guess you'd mostly be looking at Excel, Python, Seaborn, Matplotlib, NumPy, all those sorts of things. And I mean, that's basically you'll be analyzing data, so that's what you'll be looking at. So I think that's the kind of things you'll have SQL, of course, so that's what you'll have there. And I'm there think Python is going good. What's the best way to learn? Any advice? So for Python, just what I recommend is for any language or anything that just don't keep grinding on the basics, because you can just be stuck in an infinite loop just learning the basics and never actually build anything with it. So after you learn the basics, try to build like a small neural network or try to make a small model or something like that. Do like a toy project, because I did not do that when I was learning, and I regret that. So that's one thing I can tell you. And hi Chris, glad to see you here, buddy. I know you've also been doing YouTube, like you've had a YouTube channel for a while. It's finally joined the YouTube space. And can you give me an idea of how I can design UI of fandom website? I'm not a UI designer, honestly. This is a bad question to ask me. What kind of projects would you work on? I would honestly just pick up like a data set or something like that and analyze it, make charts out of it or something. I'm not sure what the definition of data analytics for the company that you are like looking for means, but make charts out of it, make visualizations, make like machine learning models that analyze it and things like that. I think that's what what I guess you would do. Again, don't take this with a grain of salt, because I'm not also 100% sure what sort of requirements they're looking for. Yes, and yeah, let's move on. Now bindings. We can also have text inputs. Awesome. So we can change this to whatever we like. Not yet. Okay. Um, let name equal to word. Okay. And then we have the input value. We have to bind it. Bind the value. Okay. And now it works. So you can basically put anything in the box. So you can use a bind value, and then it basically changes. It binds the value of this input box to the name variable. Nice. Your voice resembles Raj Thakre. Who knows? I could be Raj Thakre. You never know. Oh, nice. We have sliders over here. Um, those sliders actually look really good. Not going to lie. In the DOM, everything is a string. That's unhelpful. If you're dealing with numerical inputs, type number and type range, it means you have to cohere it as input dot value before using it. You can use a bind value. Svelte takes care of that for you. Okay. We can. Let's see. Svelte has something similar to Angular, really? Okay. I mean, I personally think Angular is like the odd framework out of everything. It's like, what do you say? Like React and Vue, and you have React, Vue, and Svelte, and then Angular is in its own world. Like people just hate Angular. I'm not. That's interesting. Maybe I'll try Angular someday too. But yeah, thanks, man. First time here, joined through Tech Twitter, and you were the very first few people I followed. That's incredible to hear, man. I'm glad we are having this awesome community. Um, and I'm yeah. If you want more help, my DMs are open. I try to answer as many DMs as possible. But yeah, I'd be happy to help you. So no, it has no similarity. Okay. Okay, it has no similarity. My bad. I read it wrong. So Svelte has some specific things just like Angular. True that. True that. And we also have CMD7 over here. Hey, what's up, man? Nice to have you here. Yeah, we have DVX here too. Hey, my friend. All my friends are here too. So, just for context, this live stream has been going on for like 70 minutes or something like that, and we're still going. But yeah, so I'm just writing code over here, and yeah, trying to see how this works. So you can see, so as I move the slider, the number changes. I think that's pretty neat. Mm. Notepad plus plus or Scratch. Yeah, Notepad is the best code editor, no doubt about that. For Angular, you need to know the basics of TypeScript. Yeah, Angular is entirely TypeScript based. So you need to know TypeScript, otherwise you're not doing Angular. It's like that. Let's see. Why do we not do a bind over here? Like, what does that change? That actually changes nothing. If you remove that, it does nothing. Okay. We have to put the bind everywhere. My bad. Have you tried Streamlit for Python? Yes, actually, I'm a huge fan of Streamlit. I'm actually absolutely suck at JavaScript and CSS. Like you can see right now, I have a hard time writing the front end myself. So it's a really good way to get the front end done. It has some really powerful tools. You can chart things, you can visualize things. It's really good. I like Streamlit. And then you can also deploy your app online for free on Streamlit servers. So I mean, I'm personally a huge fan of Streamlit. Mm, Let's see. Checkboxes are used for toggling between states. Instead of binding to input.value, we bind it input.checked. Okay. So yeah, Svelte, as you said, Svelte does its own things over here. And actually, this looks really good. I find it intuitive. So if you bind, if it's checked, then the value equals becomes yes. We will bombard you with inbox and sell your personal detail. Man, these guys have a great sense of humor. If you're not paying, you're the product. That's true. Yeah, and then we have the if-else statements over here too. That makes sense. Nice. Oof. I'm actually getting a bit tired. So maybe we will, maybe we'll resume the stream for a little bit and we'll come back tomorrow. And I'll see how to make this even more interesting, I want this to be a big thing. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, if you have multiple inputs, you can use the bind group along with the value attribute. Radio inputs in the same group are mutually exclusive. Checkbox inputs in the same group form an array of selected values. Add bind out group to each input. Okay. Input type radio, scoops, name scoops, value 1. Okay. You know what, this is going to take a bit of time to digest. So I mean, I'll probably end the stream right now, but I just had, loads of fun. I had loads of fun doing this live stream. It was a blast. We had an overall of 30-40 people. Not a whole lot, but we'll build it up slowly. And it was so awesome to have you guys on the stream. Answering your questions, interacting with you. It's hard to do that on Twitter. But yeah, it was seriously amazing. I hope we can do more of this. And yeah, try posting 101 videos and stuff like that. I guess that will work on this platform. Yeah, I'm planning more content. Let's see how that goes. Let's see how we can get this going. But yeah, thank you for having here. Watching me be bad at JavaScript. But I really appreciate your time. Thanks for being here. We'll do more of this, and you'll be. I'll try to answer more of your questions, and I'll actually try to explain more what I'm doing in this code, and we'll do something more interesting tomorrow. So yeah, thanks a lot for coming here, guys. Really appreciate it. We'll interact more on Twitter, and yeah, we'll do a live stream tomorrow as well. So yeah, see ya. Thanks a lot, guys.